Hey Jackal, do you have a lot of files that you have to rename? Well, we do have an option, at least in Windows. It's PowerToys, and with a lot of toys comes a lot of responsibility, and it's called Power Rename. But you also have other tools like the mouse highlighter and this one that, well, highlights the mouse pointer when you click. Now, if you want to rename the files, you can simply select all of them, right-click and change with rename with Power Rename. In this case, I have set an expression, and what I'll do is I'll simply cut the last 19 characters, including the .mp3, and that is why I have to add it at the end. And when I click apply, as you'll see, all of the files will get renamed. Now that can be it, and I've got a bunch of noise from the file names, but let me just do this quickly for all of the audio files that I have, and then we can also rename them further. So let me do just that. So now in this case, what I'm doing is simply renaming the 160 to 170 so that it will go from 1 to 10. So I have used 16 and replace it with, well, nothing. And 17 I have replaced with 1. And now I have from 1 to 10. The same will be from 151 to 160. I'll replace the 15 with nothing. And then I will replace the 16, which is 160, and replace it with 1 to get 10. Then I could do the same with the beginning values, so I could use maybe 8 point and space and replace it with nothing. That would get rid of the numbers in the front, and I would just have the whole names. The same goes with any other text or string in the middle. If it's the same, I could just type it in and replace it with something else, be it some other text or just, well, a space, a dash, semicolon, and so on. Maybe not a semicolon. You do still have to use characters that are legal to be used in file names. Now in this case, I have two files that have 12 in the name. So 112 and 120. But I just want to rename one of them. So I will deselect the 112, rename it later. So this time I'll just rename the 120 to 10, and now I can rename the address using 11 to go from 1 to 9. So this tool is powerful, as you could see. And it does have a lot more options, but what you may then also want to do is maybe when using images is resize them and also change the format of them. And for that we do have other options. So I have quickly shown you PowerToys. You have a lot of options. I suggest you dive in. If you want to use any of these options and adjust the keyboard shortcuts, one of the shortcuts being Windows Shift and H for the mouse pointer. In any case, we took a look at the Power Rename option. You can learn more about the Power Rename, and I suggest you do that, especially if you want some options with expressions. So in my case, what I've used is, I believe, this one. So basically I've trimmed n characters from the end. So when it comes to renaming, this is a really powerful tool, but what you may also need when it comes to images is something to compress them and also change the format. And this is what Caesium image compressor does. You have the online version. Just to show you quickly, this is what this looks like. So you can select the quality, Then here you just have JPEG, PNG and WebP format. But if you go to the GitHub, go to latest release, and in this case I'll just use Windows Portable, and let me see if I actually already have it installed. I do, version 2.8.2. So I have the portable version, simply download it and extract it. And this is what that looks like. You can select a bunch of images and they will appear inside here. You can specify the quality. You can also keep it lossless if that is what you need. You can also resize the images based on dimensions, percentage, width and height. And you can specify the output. So it can be in the same folder. Keep the folder structure. If you just input a whole folder of images, then you can skip the output if the compressed file is somehow bigger than the original, and you can keep the file dates. And if you use format suffix, you can specify something that will be added after the name so you can easily distinguish which is the changed image. So let me put in 3 images. This is what that looks like. I can set the compression. As for the format, it's selected under the output. So JPEG, PNG and WebP. So maybe with this one, let me go with PNG. I'll add the suffix. And you can click compress down here. So in this case, no compression can be done. I think I've already done the compression on this one. So all of the files were skipped. And if I use JPEG, in this case I have saved some space. Well, based on the originals, quite some space. And lastly, we can just have JPEGs, PNGs and TIFFs. So Converseen is what will fix all of the issues when it comes to conversion of image formats and also other formats like GIFs. So they do have a GitHub page and this is what the UI looks. As you can see, they do have quite a lot of formats, and why I chose to use this software, well, firstly, it's free. It has a ton of conversions that you can do. It's offline. And because I had to convert a lot of images from JPEG to JPG. So let me input a bunch of images. They have a PNG format and I can easily convert them to JPEG. I can specify the location. Now, if you want to change the location, you can simply do that. Click on the 3 dots and find the folder that you want to save the new images into. Export folder for the images. We can also do renaming. As you can see, we can add a prefix or a suffix. If this is a PNG, a transparent one, by default, if you export to a JPEG, the background will be white, but with this option, you can change that color into any color that you want. You can also change the image scale and resolution. And also we have the rotate and flip option. So you can also rotate and flip the images. You can also overwrite your images if you want and add progressive numbering. So when it comes to also renaming, this tool is powerful, but I think it goes hand in hand with the other 2 tools that we looked previously. And when everything is said and done, simply click on the convert option and you will have all of the images converted. And if we take a look at the size, the originals are quite substantial compared to the ones that I have just exported. And when it comes to the dimensions, as you can see, they are the same. That will be it for this video. If you found it helpful and would like to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel. I'm Simon, and until next time, Jackal, keep it digital.